Good morning to one and all.
Good morning, ma'am.
We will just begin the session today. Today I am touching upon English. The concept is teaching preschoolers to write. Okay. We've already done the writing part for our assignment, if you remember. I've given you the assignment to write the pages of the alphabets, right? The small and the capital both. So this is pertaining to writing skills. How we can improve, or what are the beginning requirements where the child should learn to write. Before I begin my session, I'll be winding up my session till then. Okay, I have an emergency to go, so I'll be winding up by lunch break. I will also be having a group activity as soon as my presentation is over. We have a group activity which I'll just brief you all about the same later on. So today, talking about the writing skills which are required. Now, the young children, the preschoolers are ready with reading skills now. They need to be taught how to write. Now you should not follow a particular pattern, or you should not expect perfection from the preschoolers in the initial stage. You cannot just directly ask them to start writing. You need to create some groundings for them. It should not be that you should give them the crayons or the pencils and ask them to start writing. There is a particular procedure which you need to follow. You cannot expect perfection. Keep this right straight alert in your mind that you cannot expect perfection in writing in the initial stage of your children. The young child begins a journey of reading and writing as she learns to read and write her first word. Now the preschooler, what is the first word which the preschooler learns according to you? What would be the first word or the first letter of that word? If you've seen the small children, preschoolers are very keen in learning their spellings of their own names. So the beginning of learning writing is to begin to write their own name. If you have seen, the parents also, the teachers also in the school as well as the parents at home, make them give them the belongings or the things of theirs captioned with their names. Their bags also with their big names. So what is the first thing which they are keen in learning is their names. What are the letters in their names? So for most children, that first word is his or her own name. But just how do preschoolers make the jump to writing their names and the other letters of the alphabet? That needs to be taught. How they have to learn to write their names. That also holds a different technique of writing. And is there a right and wrong way to teach your child to write? Yes. There is a right and a wrong way. Whatever way of writing you will teach them as preschoolers, they are going to remember lifelong. So if their base is in a wrong fashion, they'll never be able to write properly. Because when you teach them writing, you teach them the technique of writing. There is a particular technique which I'll be teaching you all further ahead. Writing holds certain steps to be followed. You cannot just tell the child to write in your own fashion or in your own way. That is not right and appropriate. The research has proved that if the child learns writing in a wrong way in the preschool, the researchers have proved that that child will never be able to pick up writing in the later stages of their education, because he or she will be a slow writer, will not be able to complete his task or assignments on time because he has not learned the particular technique of writing in the preschool stage. So we add a tactile or kinesthetic component. When we are teaching writing, you don't directly teach them to hold a pencil or a crayon or a marker. You teach them, involving them with different manipulates where their tactile or the kinesthetic skills are improved. Motor, fine motor needs to be developed before they start writing. You need to make them very strong in their fine motor development. Then only they will learn the different technique of writing. We need to add a tactile or a kinesthetic component when we are practicing shaping, to shape the letters with different materials. You are using different materials to teach them writing. You cannot give them the paper and the pencil or the pen in the beginning and ask them to start scribbling. No. Before that, you need to provide them with different materials. With different materials would be sand, would be a salt tray, where they are just learning to trace. They are learning to hold that, they are learning to trace the particular style of writing. Shaping letters with dough. Dough is nothing but that, what is that called as clay. That's the clay, that's the dough. Tracing them on textured paper cutouts. There are some cutouts where they try to trace that particular letter or the particular pattern. And writing in the sand or salt trays all help children internalize the shape of the letter while developing their fine motor skills. Why we are giving them these activities of the salt tray or the sand tray or tracing with different material is to develop their fine motor skills. Very important. When their fine motor skills are developed, only then will they learn how to hold the pencil, how to have the hold of the pencil, the grasp of the pencil. Then they will learn to have the letter formations done, because before that you need to strengthen their fine motor. What is the fine motor? Fine motor is nothing but their small muscles need to be developed. Their fingers, with which they hold things, with which they color, they draw, they also fasten their clothes. All that is fine motor. Now, hands-on letter formation. When you are teaching them to form letters, what are the different techniques which you can use or different strategies which you can use? Air writing. When you are teaching them different patterns of writing, or when you are teaching them letters, let them write it in the air. And not only writing but saying aloud. From top, coming from top to the bottom, straight line. When you are teaching them T, then pick up, then form a straight sleeping line. Standing line, sleeping line. That makes the letter T. So, allowing them to write in air, that also is one of the techniques. Tell them to write a standing line. On the top is a sleeping line. Whenever you are teaching, teach them that whenever you have letter formations done, it begins from top to bottom. There is a particular technique. You cannot start from bottom to top. That is very lethargic, making you feel exhausted, fatigue. It will cause fatigue to the child. The child will feel tired. It's not a comfortable thing for them to write from bottom to the top. Teach them whenever we are making letter formation, it has a particular pattern from top to bottom. So when you are teaching them T, standing line, sleeping line, T. This is called as air writing. Foamy fun. You can have a tray in the class. Have foam of different colors. Now you have different color foams also available. So just add little bit of color in that water. Make it a foamy or the foamy thing. And then just make letters. Trace the letters on it. Form letters on it. It is very interesting and fun and frolic for them. Create variety, novelty in your teaching. So one of the activity would be foamy fun. Activity for letter formation. Kitchen tracing. When they are there in the kitchen, mummy is busy cooking and making her household chores. That time the child can just be in the kitchen along with the mother, that child can be given a tray of salt and just tracing the letters. And the child will not be fearful over here. What if I write wrong? Again I have to erase? No. We'll immediately rectify the mistake over there and there. We'll again just rectify over there. You can erase very easily on the salt tray. And then keep writing and scribbling over there. That creates repetition. And I told you, the preschoolers learn a lot and become perfect only with repetition. These activities are easily repeated. Repetition. It can be easily be repeated. And no fear of errors. I have made a mistake, now what to do? I want an eraser. No, not required. Immediately they can rectify their mistake there and keep repeating. It's a fun and frolic for them. It's a very interesting activity. Very motivating, very inspiring for them. Next is paint practice. You can take a tray or a paper, spread a paint over there, ask them with their fingers. You are developing their fine motor skills. Ask them to trace the letters or just scribble in the paper or in the tray. Fine motor development taking place. Very important. So this is a paint practice where they keep on practicing with different colors because they are very fond of colors. They want everything very colorful. So you are providing these activities where they are being attracted towards it. And that is why they practice, they keep repeating and then they become perfect. Learn your letters. They are learning, you can give them a big paper, a sheet of paper, ask them to write the letters on it, helping them to learn the letters. You can also have your own technique formed. When you are writing E, when you are teaching, you have your own techniques or teach them in a very interesting manner. How you can teach them? Suppose if you are teaching them E, letter E, tell them it's a straight line having hat, belt and shoes. So when you are teaching letter E, very easy way, you can have your own techniques. You can use your own tricks. When you are teaching letter E, tell them it's a standing line, having a hat on the top, belt in the center and shoes at the end. Very simple. When you are teaching letter E, standing line, hat on the top, belt in the center and shoes at the end. That's letter E. You are teaching them various techniques. Otherwise they become very fatigued. They'll say, no, we are tired of writing. We don't want to write. Today we are going to learn letter E. How you are going to learn now letter E? You all have learned standing line. Come on, now we will together write E, letter E. Make a straight standing line. They'll make a standing line. Now we are going to have a hat for this standing line. On the top, where do you wear your hat? On the top. So we'll make a hat. Where does Papa tie his belt? In the center. So center you are going to have a belt. Where do you wear your shoes? The bottom. So at the bottom you are going to have a line. That's the technique of teaching different letters to them. So learn your letters. With your own style you can teach them. Now what are the writing milestones which you need to remember? There are different milestones which you need to remember while teaching writing to the preschoolers. Your young child may begin to make real letters. Now initially they don't know what are real letters. They don't know what is A, B, C, D. How to write they don't know. They know how to orally say. They know how to read. They don't know how to write. It has a particular pattern. You have to teach them what are real letters. So these first real letters often occur by accident during scribbling and they are labeled by your child. When they are scribbling, what they will start? If you give a paper to a preschooler, tell them to write. Will they make letters over there? No, they'll start scribbling over here. They scribble. This is called as scribbling. What is scribbling? They just keep on writing and making a mess out of it. And what happens? Accidentally, they form letters. When they are scribbling only, they form different letters. So, look, I made an O. Then they'll tell mother, see mother, I made O. Letter O I made. So, when they are scribbling only, they are getting refined. So, when they are scribbling, different letters are formed. But not initially. As and when they scribble. Because the first initial stage of writing is scribbling. Some 4 years old may also begin writing names. Some of the 4-year-old they are very intelligent. They see their names every day on the bags, on the tiffin box. You know, some schools have names on, as I told you, on the tables, on the charts. So they keep on reviewing it again and again and again, and that is why they remember, yeah, my name has 5 letters. My name is Pooja. So P O O J A. They kept on reviewing it. So that is the first thing where what they are eager to learn is their own name. Then they'll say, Mummy, today I know how to write my name. I learned first letter of my name. My name begins with letter P. So they're very eager first to write their names. Displaying these first written letters on the refrigerator or door to your child's room or to your child's room. What happens? The moment they write their names on a paper, immediately preserve it. Display it on the refrigerator or display it on their door of their room. And motivate and encourage them. Oh, very good. Keep it up. You've learnt how to write your own name today. Wow, keep it up. Boost the child. Encourage the child. Display. Because displaying their activities are rewards for them. Encourage the child. Boost them. Give them positive reinforcement. They'll be more happy and they'll be eager to learn all the more. Now your child may request help in learning to write letters. It's not that they are going to learn on their own. They require your help, but you have to just supervise and monitor. Your child may want to learn real writing herself. You will tell them, no, this is not the way to write. You have to write like this. It will take some time for them to learn real letters. For them, they don't know what is real A, real B. They just know how to scribble in the initial stage. So you have to slowly, steadily teach them what are real letters. Young children love to learn how to form the letters. They want to learn, they are eager to learn, but they need to be taught in a very slow and steady manner. Of their own names and of other important and frequently used words such as mom. What words they are eager to write? First is their name. Then they want to write mom because they want to impress mother. Mummy, I wrote mom today. M-O-M. Okay, they want to write the letter love because very often it is used. I love my mom. I love my dad. So that word love. I love my teacher. So they want to learn more and more these words. Like their own name, mom, dad, love, too. Because most often it is used. Mummy says I love you. So I love you too. So that too with T-double-O. Okay, these are some of the words where they are very eager to learn. Now your young child may begin to show interest in what adults write. You have seen as mothers, you all make the grocery list at the end of the month or the beginning of the month when you have to go to the mall or you have to go to the mart to stock the provisions for the entire month. You make a grocery list. What are you writing, Mama? What is this? What have you written? What is this? Their first thing is, what is this? 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 Their first query is that. And they keep on repeating. Mama, what you wrote? Okay, this. Then what is this? Then what you wrote next? Very eager to know. As your child watches your writing list, your letters and forms, he may want to do the same thing. Because it is very important that you keep on writing. As teachers also, you keep on writing in the class. So they are very eager. Whatever they see, they want to do. If they see their teacher writing, they want to write. What my teacher is doing writing, even I want to write. They'll try to imitate the teacher for writing. You can support by having a variety of materials readily available. As I told you, you can have your material ready which has kinesthetic or tactile materials. Your young children develop confidence in writing when they are included in real writing activities. For example, many preschoolers are thrilled when adults suggest that they help write the grocery list or a thank you note, or even the birthday card. You tell them to make a birthday card, they are very eager to write. Thank you note, if teacher has given a gift, or mother has given a gift, or father has given a gift, tell them to write a thank you note. They are very eager. Encourage them. In the class also, encourage them to write a thank you note. If the friend has helped him, encourage them to write thank you note. Or at home also, grocery list when you are writing, ask them to take a paper and give them a paper, a pencil. Let them imitate you. Let them also imitate what you are writing. The more you do, the more the children will do. So whatever you do, they want to imitate. Even when you are sitting with your computers, or even the teacher, when teacher is using the computer in the class, the child wants to be a part of it, wants to type. Instead of writing also, typing also. So that also is one of the way where they want to use or want to type. They want to use the computer. Nowadays, you know, the children are very techno savvy. Even on the phone, they will try to type. Okay, they'll type the initial word or the letter, and they know that word is going to be reflected. Learning to write and draw. How your child's writing and art changes over time. Do they write how they write in the initial stage? No. There is a lot of refinement, lot of changes take place in their drawing, in their writing. They learn writing in the form of drawing. How you can encourage drawing? When you give them paper, first thing what they will be keen to do? They are keen to draw. They'll draw a boy or a girl, then they'll say, or they'll draw a picture of their family. Mother, father, brother and me. Okay, so they are learning to write but in the form of drawing. Creativity is a bridge to learning. When you want to make them, arouse enthusiasm, interest in writing, give creative activities. Very creative, innovative, full of novelty. Creativity helps your child become a thoughtful, inquisitive and confident learner. When you give some creativity in their activity, what happens? What is incorporated in them? Confidence. They become inquisitive. Yeah, what is this? Well, why this? More eager. You are enhancing their critical thinking, their logical thinking. So in the process, lot of skills are taken care of when you are teaching them writing. Not only their fine motor is developed, but also their critical thinking, their analytical thinking, their logical thinking is also developed. As she grabs that chunky crayon and gets to work, you will see her art and writing change and become more controlled and complex as she grows. Now crayons, they are not very eager with the pencil colors. They want crayons because that's chunky for them. So they want to just scribble, and as and when they start scribbling, they get refined. They get the control or the grip of the writing. Now what are the different stages to learn writing for a preschooler? There are different stages, as I told you. It doesn't start directly from writing. Very important to remember the stages. What is the first stage? First stage is random scribbling, which begins from 15 months to from 15 months to 2.5 years. They just keep scribbling. but not scribbling, but they also get refinement with scribbling. But the first stage of writing is random scribbling. What is the meaning of random? There is no particular pattern of scribbling. They can do anywhere, anything, anywhere. This is scribbling. Beginning, you give them, they will just scribble. Now these scribbles are usually the result of large movements from the shoulder with the crayon or marker held in the child's fist. Now when they are scribbling, they are not refined. They are not using only their fine motor. They are using their gross motor because they are using their entire shoulder. When anybody writes, when you write as an adult or when you get refinement in writing, do you use your shoulder and write? Do you write A like this? Okay, I am writing A. Yeah? You are not using your shoulder. You are not using your gross motor. You are using your fine motor. So they need to be taught. These things are usually the result of large movement. In the initial stage, because they are scribbling, they don't know the refinement. So they are using their motor skills. Instead of fine motor, they are using their gross motor. There is joy in creating art at all ages. But at this stage, especially, many children relish the feedback they are getting from their senses. The way the crayon feels, the smell of the paint and the squishiness of the clay. When you are giving them different materials. So now they are not concentrating on writing. They are concentrating on the material. What type of senses they are having, all the type of, they are actually sensitizing the different senses. How? The way of the crayon feel. How they are feeling the crayon. They are more into what? My God, this crayon is so smooth. So the feel of the crayon. The smell of the paint. If you are giving some paint activity, they are more interested in the smell of the paint. Not on the writing part. The squishiness of the clay. Stickiness of the clay. Oh, again it is, we can again reuse. Again they write. Again they are reusing. So they are more focused on the material rather than focused on the writing. So random scribbling is the first stage. Second stage is controlled scribbling. First was random. Now the second stage is controlled. Now their scribbling is coming under control. They are getting refinement. They are getting the control of their scribbling over here. Now that lasts from 2 years to 3 years. As children develop better control over the muscles in their hands and fingers. I told you in the first random scribbling, they are using their gross motor, their shoulders. Now they are getting refinements and they are getting a control over their hands and their fingers. So more of refinement in the fine motor is developing by this stage. Toddlers may make repeated marks on the page. They keep on repeating the scribbling, the same scribbling on the page. Open circles, diagonal, curved, horizontal or vertical lines. These are the scribbling which they have. They make open circles. They are not able to make the entire circle. So some open circles they'll make. They'll keep on repeating like this. But then it will become a repeated pattern for them. This way. They'll make horizontal, vertical line, horizontal line, vertical line. They'll keep on repeating it. But here the refinement has set in because it is controlled scribbling. Over time, children make the transition to holding the crayon or marker between their thumb and the pointer finger. Now by this time, they have the control of the thumb and the pointer finger. Now this grip has already set in. They have now learned how to grip. Now what is the third stage? The third stage is now they start forming lines and patterns. This starts from 2.5 years to 3.5 years. Now children now understand that writing is made up of lines, curves and repeated patterns. They try to imitate this in their own writing. Now they have learned that writing is nothing but It's a combination of lines, of different curves and different patterns. So while they may not write actual letters, you may see components of writing in their drawing. These might include lines, dots and curves. You have seen small children. You tell them to form dots, they'll keep on forming dots and they'll try to join the lines then. They'll form over here. Or you also give them activities where the dotted activity to join the dots and make a figure out of it. So all that is in the third stage. These might include lines, dots and curves. This is an exciting time as your toddler realizes that this drawing conveys meanings. For example, he may write something down and then tell you what word it says. This is an important step towards reading and writing. Now, when suppose the child has made this particular figure, okay, you can ask the child, what have you made? Then he'll say, you know, I made my dad with 2 hands and 2 legs. My dad has scanty hair. That is why you can see there is no hair over here. So, what are you doing? Not only teaching them writing, but also enhancing with skills in them. Association, word association. Very good. What else? Which else skills you are developing? Language skills, because they are asking what, they are narrating what they have drawn. They are trying to tell you all what that figure conveys to them. They explain what is that figure. So, in the process, you are developing their vocabulary skills, their language and enhancement is going on. As well as their writing skills, their motor development, everything is taken care of. We go to the last 4th stage, pictures of objects or people. Now this is from 3 years to 5 years. Now they start forming pictures. They'll start forming pictures of a scenery, or they'll start forming pictures of the mountains, the sun, the garden picture, the park picture where children are playing. Now the writing has become pictorial. They draw and they explain. So once your child has begun to purposefully draw images, she has mastered symbolic thinking. What is symbolic thinking? They draw in the form of figure and they are visualizing in their mind. Imagination. So symbolic thinking, they are drawing something and they are imaginating at the same time. So analytical or critical thinking taking place. Logical thinking taking place. So symbolic thinking, by this stage they have enhanced their symbolic thinking. This important milestone in thinking skill means that your child understands that lines on paper can be symbol of something else like a house, a cat or a person. Now they are no more only lines. Initially they had learned lines. They had learned a particular pattern. But they know when you draw a house, you require lines. So lines are not only used for writing alphabets or letters, but also used symbolically for drawing different pictures or symbols. As she said, house. Different lines are used for drawing a house. So they are associating it. They are making a connection. Symbolic thinking is enhanced. When your child is able to, at this stage your child also begins to understand the difference between pictures and writing. Now they know whatever they have drawn is not writing, it is pictures. So now they understand what is the difference when you write and what is the difference when you draw. So they can differentiate between writing and drawing. So you may see him draw a picture and then scribble some words underneath to describe what he has drawn or to tell a story. Now when he has drawn this particular picture, we will try to write something. She is Sita or Sita. Only she'll write that child will write only the name. Symbolic thinking has taken place. That symbol means something for that child. He has thought, imagination. Imagined what it is. For your, as a small preschooler, what would you caption this particular picture? Anybody? What would have you written when you would have drawn this picture? Anybody can tell me this picture?
A girl standing under the sun.
But that big sentence they'll not be able to write. What would you write in few words?
Girl.
Girl or girl or name of a friend
Or our name.
or name. Okay? So they are having an association with the picture and writing. So they are combining both things, drawing and writing. When your child is able to share his story with you, he will be motivated to author more and more work as he grows. Now you just don't tell, okay, when the child has written this, when drawn this, ask the child to explain what they have drawn. So they'll come with their own stories. Teacher, you know what? There was sun shining brightly and this girl was going in the park or the garden and so on and so on. Their story begins and goes on and on and on, and you have to put a full stop to the story. This is all symbolic thinking, imaginative thinking. We have the fifth stage also there, letter and word. Now here the entire refinement of writing has taken place. Now here comes writing in letters. Letter and word practice. They keep on practice. You give them worksheets, you give them, ask them to have trace the letters. So here refinement has taken place. 3 to 5 years. Now they also make pretend letters by copying familiar letter shapes and will often assume that their created letters must be real because it looks like other letters they have seen. Now they start pretending. They know everything. Yeah, I know how to write. So they start pretending letters. So that's called as pretend letters. Oh, they show that they are very confident now. They are able to write letters, and that is pretend letters. They also begin to understand that some words are made of symbols that are shorter and some words are made of symbols that are longer. Now every letter has different strokes. Some of them have long strokes, some of them have shorter ones. So now they start associating letters with different strokes of different patterns which they have learned. As a result, their scribbles change. Now there is no more scribbling at all. It has turned into letters refinement. They have now learned, now they have passed through the drawing stage and then come to the writing stage. Now here the refinement has taken place completely. They are able to write, they are able to repeat the letters now with particular tracing or repetition. Rather than one long string of letters or letter-like shapes, your child's writing now has short and long patterns that look like words or sentences. Now, when you show them a sentence, they are able to associate with different letters. When you narrate a story on a chart, they are able to associate now the words, because by now they have learned the letters. They now know how to read a sentence. While these letters and words are probably not technically correct, they are not correct, it does not matter. Even if it is not correct for them, they start association in their own mind. But they know they are not very correct or very right when they are reading it. But they know that something has been formed. While this exciting milestone means that your child is beginning to understand the text and print have meaning. Now they know whatever is printed in the text, in the textbook or on the book, the books which they are reading has particular meanings. Before that, what they know, something is written, I don't know what, some print is there. But now no, it's no more a print now. This print has particular meaning because it has words, it has letters in it which has particular meaning, which is purposeful, which has conveys something to the person. See, now your refinement has taken place. Repeating T, they keep on repeating it. Now what can you do to encourage art and writing skills? How you can improve the writing skills? Art is nothing but drawing. Remember, there is an association between drawing and writing. Writing cannot be isolated from drawing. It is together. It's a pair. Drawing, writing. So how you will encourage writing and drawing in children? Make art a regular part of playtime. Whenever they have playtime, make art a regular pattern. Have it regularly conducted. As your child grows, you can include washable paints, child-safe scissors and glues, and homemade salt dough as part of your child's creative time. Very important. As I told you, you can have a paint where the child is scribbling on the paint tray with the fingers. You are refining their fine motor development. So make art a regular basis in your school. No need for instructions. You don't need to tell them that they have to follow particular instructions for writing. In the beginning stage I am talking about. Let them scribble. In the process of scribbling only they will learn how to write. So let your child experiment and explore. Give them materials to explore. Give them manipulates to explore. Creativity means having the power to express yourself in your own way. Let them express themselves in their own way. Give them freedom, liberty to do whatever they want initially with the manipulatives. This independence is just what a growing toddler is looking for to feel confident, competent and clever. They want to prove they are clever. So they'll, in the process, what are they gaining? They are gaining confidence. They can do it. So you have to leave them at their own. Help them to explore. Give them opportunities. Provide them with opportunities. Provide them with material to explore. By sitting, observing and taking pleasure in your child's creation, you are providing all the guidance he needs. You are only a supervisor next to the child. No need of instructing. No, what you are doing is wrong. Don't do like this. Don't do like that. No instructions. This stage is a freedom stage. Initially I am talking about. When you are just initiating writing in the children, you cannot tell them to follow certain rigid rules and regulations. Help them to explore. Provide them opportunities. Be only a supervisor. Be a guide to the child. Just observe. Observation is very important. When you are observing the child, you are actually concluding what the child's level is. Notice the process, not just the product. You can't tell the child, expect this from this. No. See the process, see the procedure what the child is following. Not the product. What he has written is immaterial. How he has done matters more. What he has done doesn't matter. How? The process is more important than the product. Take a few moments to observe your child's work. Look at lines you are making. There are so many of them. Or that picture is really interesting. Appreciation. Very interesting picture you have made. Wow! You need to be given a star. Excellent work. Appreciate. Appreciating is interesting for them. It's motivating for them. It's inspiring for them. They'll do all the more. They'll try from better to best. They want to become the best. They'll improve themselves. Or I see your work really hard on your drawing. Really, you worked very hard for this drawing. Very artistic drawing you have done. motivate, boost the child. Or just tell me about your picture, converse with the child. He has drawn a beautiful picture. Just ask the child, what have you drawn? Can you just tell me what you have drawn? Let the child express. Then see if your child is interested in sharing more. They'll keep on and on and on. They'll share their own stories also relating to their picture. Teacher, what happened then? From the picture they'll go on to their own household story. So you give them more exposure. Experiment with a variety of art material as your child nears 3 years. Very important. Give them different types or different kinds of material to explore. Let children paint with cotton balls. Very often you have cotton balls. Let them have those cotton balls on the paper being dumped. Q-tips, sponges, string, you name it. Q-tips are not available over here. It's an abroad product. Give your child crayons and rub over a textured surface like a coin or a screen. You take a coin. You know how to trace a coin, no? Just show them tracing. This is a 1 rupee coin. I'll just show you on the paper. See, trace and then show them. That also creates a lot of interest in them. Curiosity, enthusiasm. Oh, teacher, what teacher has done? That 1 rupee coin has been traced on the paper. Teacher, it's a magic. Teacher has done a magic. She has done a magic. Okay? Different activities, different materials. Draw with chalk outside on a sidewalk. See how water changes the color of the chalk. Draw something outside on the outdoor and then just drop water on it. How it smudges. Show them different ways, different techniques of learning. Add powdered paint or glitter to your child's sand play. There is a sand play. Add glitter to it. It will shine. It will create more enthusiasm, more interest, more creativity, more novelty in your material. Or add a few dimensions of water play by adding drops of washable food coloring to the water. What happens when you mix 2 different colors of water together? Teaching them. Have different colors of water ready. See, when 2 colors are mixed together, there is a different color which is formed. Showing them different techniques, interesting techniques. That also is one of the strategies. Use art to help your child express strong feelings. If your child having a tantrum, offer some Play-Doh. Now has lot of tantrums. You know what are tantrums, no? What are tantrums? Throwing, hitting things down, screaming, shouting, all that is tantrums. Yes, mood fluctuations, mood swings are tantrums. So if your child having a tantrum, offer some Play-Doh or set out the markers and paper and suggest she makes a very, very angry picture. Now the child is, when the child throws tantrums, is very angry, in a very different mood set. Give that child a paper. Give that child crayons, colors. Ask that child to draw a face, angry face. Let them experience that feeling. Creative activities can sometimes help children express and make sense of feelings that are too intense for them to share in words. Now, it is very difficult to express themselves. Now, they express in the form of tantrums. When they are told to express that on paper, I have done something wrong. They are drawing, they are realizing, yeah, not good thing. When teacher says, now draw our angry face, now you just take colors, draw your own face having angry look on it. Just associate, no, whatever I am doing is wrong. How will I look in an angry face? How my face looks? I don't know. Yeah, it doesn't look good. They are associating. They are expressing their feelings. Their strong feelings are expressed in the form of drawing. Tell them to draw. If their negative feelings to be expressed in drawing. That also is a way of modifying their behavior. Thing is not right. Angry face, see how it looks, dirty it looks. Doesn't look good when I'm drawing. I should not be angry. I should not do this thing. This is not a right act which I'm doing. Can I change, please? Encourage your child's attempt to write. You have to encourage the child's attempt. Having different techniques. If your child scribbles something and then tells you what he wrote, take it seriously. When the child comes scribbling to you, teacher, see what I have written. And what is, okay, what is this? What is written? What is this? Rubbish. What is this? Horrible. You are demotivating the child. Take it very seriously. When the child comes to you, appreciate. Oh, beautiful. What have you done? Can you just tell me what have you done? Oh, you've written your name. Very nice. But there is a small mistake here. Here you can just write it like this. Rectify in a very positive attitude. With a positive attitude, the child will be motivated to learn and rectify the mistake. Your approach to the child matters a lot, teachers. You have to be very approachable to the child. Let him take his shopping list to the supermarket or mall. This scribble letter to grandma. This is how children learn that they are powerful and they have meaning. Now when I told you them write in the class, let them write, make a list. Now today we are going to go to the park. We are not going out to the park. We are going to just take few. So write the names. Let them also copy. Allow them to take that list outside. Park or to the garden. That writing should be meaning. Only not writing and leaving. When they are making that, so allow them to carry that list of theirs also. Okay, I missed one thing. Have you written this? Oh, I forgot this. And I forgot. Good you wrote. I missed, Good you had written it. And encouraging the child. Writing holds a lot of importance because their writing is being appreciated, is being valued, has some importance for them. This is how children learn that words are powerful and have meaning. Then they will learn writing is very powerful because it has meaning. You have to create writing. Then it will make sense for them. Writing has some sense for them. Display your child's art and writing. Whatever they have done, whatever they have written, whatever it is, even with errors, display it. That is a source of inspiration for them. They will be very happy to do their own work because they will show their friends, come here. See, this is my drawing. Teacher has displayed on the board. How no? No, they will keep conversing. They see friends drawing. Oh, but that my friend has drawn more neatly. Next time I'll do the same. They are learning in the process. When things are being displayed that time also, it's a learning process for them. They are seeing their own work. Their work displayed of others. They are again learning something in this process. So creative activities help children to learn how to solve problems, come up with their own answers, discover the cause and effect of their actions, and feel confident about the choices they make. When I said when you are displaying, it's a learning process for them. It's a problem solving. Oh, he has done this, but I haven't done this. Why I left it? This is not there in my picture. Why it is not there? Why it is there in that my friend's picture? Thought provoking. Problem solving is taken care of. They are discovering new things. Oh, beautiful. I haven't done that. Oh, this is a beautiful drawing, and they start imagination of that other drawings also which you have displayed. Art experiences help children develop independence with limits and gives them the opportunity to represent their ideas on paper or in other formats. Now, art is also displayed. It is also providing them opportunities for different things. Now, your writing. Writing means nothing but handwriting has to be taken care of. For writing, what is the foundation stage for writing? When you say writing, what first comes into your mind? The teacher. When you go around, suppose you are telling children to write. When you go for the rounds, what you see? What you look into? Neatness. Neatness, very important. Handwriting. Very important aspect of writing is writing. So what needs to be taken care for? Emphasizing proper writing skills, handwriting skills. What are the things you will take care of? The foundation of all good handwriting begins with the following skills. Very important. 2 skills have to be taken care regarding handwriting. First is the pencil grasp. How you grasp the pencil? Grasp is nothing but your hold of the pencil. The pencil, the way you hold the pencil, that's the first skill which you need to keep in mind while teaching them handwriting. Second is proper letter formation. That is top to bottom. When they are writing, handwriting, skills, 2 skills needs to be taken care of. What is the first skill which you need to take care of? Pencil grasp. That is the pencil hold. It should be held with a particular position. Second is the proper letter formation. Whenever they are writing letters in the handwriting, one thing is about the grasp, the other is the way they are making the letter formation. Always remember, whenever that formation of letter comes into your mind, it should be from top to bottom, not from bottom to top. Remember, you have to get that through to your children's mind that whenever you are writing, it should begin from up to down. That is top to bottom. From down to up. You can give them examples. You can take them out. You can take them to the stairs. Ask them to come down. You stand down from the stairs. Ask them to come. They come running down. Okay. So from top they have come very easily. They have come down. Now you go up. Tell them to come up with the same speed. Will they be able to come up? So it is difficult. So when they came from up down, it was easy. But from down to up was little tiring. So give them examples. Set examples for them. Therefore, it only makes sense to focus your efforts on these 2 skills. When you are teaching them handwriting, just do these 2 things in your mind and teach them handwriting. Introducing the right skills at the right time. Very important. You cannot teach them letter formation in the first stage. First stage comes pencil grasp. Many teachers jump the gun when it comes to the handwriting and begin their instructions with writing on the lines. They'll just draw the line. They'll say, come on, start writing. That's not the way. You cannot jump on writing the letters initially. That is why when I gave you all the written assignment, what did we begin first? Lines. Standing lines, sweeping lines, different strokes we learned. So we were teaching you as children first. So you need to carry the same when you go and teach in your schools. You cannot just start with writing letters, writing alphabets. You need to teach them there is a particular way of writing letters, way of letter formation. So, in order for young children to be successful with handwriting, they need to be introduced to the skills in the proper order first. Every child progresses through these skills at a different rate based on their fine motor skills. Now you have seen some children are very fast in writing. Some are slow. Some needs to be motivated for writing because their technique of holding pencil is wrong. Their pencil grasp is wrong. That is why very important to teach them the hold or the grasp of the pencil first. And why they are slow writing? They are slow writers or the writers. Why? Because depends upon how quick their fine motor has developed. If they have developed their fine motors very quickly, they will be able to write and hold the pencil properly. If they have not been given efficient activities for fine motor skills, they will not be able to. That is why we tell you all that provide them with material, with their tactile or the kinesthetic material. The more fragile their fine motors will become, the more fine the handwriting and the writing skills will become. What are fine motor skills? The small muscles of the body that enable such functions as writing, grasping small objects and fastening clothing, where they fasten buttons, okay, and they remove their buttons, they open their buttons, they fasten the buttons. All these activities come under fine motor development. The drawing, the coloring, cutting, pasting, everything is fine motor skills. When we refer to the fine motor skills in the context of handwriting, we are typically talking about the small muscles in the hands and fingers which are used for writing. Now fine motor skills for writing is what? The hands and the fingers. The hand and the finger which we are using. The fingers which we are using and the hand. In handwriting, we are talking specifically regarding these motor skills. Shall I change the slide? Involve small muscles of the body. What are fine motor? What are the activities which come under fine motor skills? Grasping an object. Hold the object. That is grasping an object. Okay. Then writing. When they are writing, that also is fine motor. And fastening clothes. Opening the clothes, opening the buttons and fastening it. Not only this much, but also when they are coloring, when they are drawing. I have just set few examples here, but there are many activities which come under fine motor. Even drawing, the coloring, when they are cutting a particular picture, cutting, pasting, all that comes under fine motor. Yes, holding things, when they are going out, cutting objects, when we tell them to go and collect from the garden. There are many things which come under, but I have given some specific ones.
Yes, I remember that.
Yes.
But certain children do not have much of expertise when it comes to literacy. Can that be improved at a later stage, like after 5 years or 6 years?
It can be, but it will be a very gradual process. If you do it initially, it will be a faster process. But if you try it at the later stage of 5 years, it is going to be a very slow process, because by that time their fine motors have developed. So already they have developed, but requires a lot of practice. But here now, when they are in the developing stage, very easily developed, between 2.5 to 5 years, very easily developed. But if you try the same after 5, as you said, that is why we say these are the foundation stages. You need to take a lot of care. If you take a lot of care during this foundation stage, everything would be smooth at the later stage. Now, what are the suggested fine motor exercises? There are certain activities which you can look into for developing their fine motor. I think the print is too small.
We have a light.
Right? Or I can just dictate, just in short I can just tell you. Use a plant sprayer to spray water on plants. Draw monster pictures with a marker and then spray them with water. You have those pumps, you know, that sprayers you have at home. Okay? What is that? Developing their fine motor. Give them that. In the classroom also you can give them that. They'll hold and remove it. Just holding and then pressing and then leaving. Fine motor development. These are some of the activities, as you said, no? After 5 years it will be difficult. So this is a foundation stage where you can incorporate or include these activities to develop their fine motor. Even if you have small children at home, you can use these activities at home to develop their fine motor. Then provide child-safe tweezers or tongs and encourage children to pick up small pom-poms and place it in empty ice cube trays for counting games. Tongs, you know, no? Tongs, there are specific tongs, like you have those clippers when you hold something hot. You have those slippers. There are different types of tongs which are available, where they can hold the pom-poms or the cotton balls, and they ask them to pick up, hold it, and then place it on a ice cube trays, or in a dish, or in a plate, or in a tray. Tongs. Holding tongs is what?
Like the
Again, yeah, it's just like, yeah, that also, that example is coming up. That's a tongs. Help, holding the tongs. It's all fine motor development, how you are going to refine their fine motors. The next is provide spring-loaded clothes spines and encourage children to clip clothes or pictures on a line. You can have those drying clothes lying at home. Give them dryers, those clips, clothes drying clips. Ask them to clip the clothes. Or in the class you can have a line drawn, a timeline drawn over here. Ask them to clip the pictures. Provide them with clips. Ask them to clip the pictures or clip the numbers from 1 to 5. If you remember, I had done a math activity. The number line which I had drawn and I had shown. So ask them, these are also having to develop their fine motor. Provide small child-sized paper punches that make different shapes. Punching papers. Small punchers you have to punch the papers. Even that will develop their fine motor. You have those punching machines, you remember? There are small ones which are technically available, the miniatures ones. So have different punches. Provide small tops to spin. There are some small tops. Ask them to spin it on the floor or on the tabletop. These are the activities which will refine their fine motor development. Very important. When parents come and approach the teachers, US teachers, how can we help my child at home, teacher, to develop their fine motor? Suggested activities. You will not get anyway. You have to suggest. Give them examples. When they come, no, parents, they are very eager. They'll approach, who is the person whom they approach? Teachers. That time you cannot just think, oh, what? No, fine motors will develop on its own. Don't worry. No, yeah, just wait for 5. Not then we'll practice more. We'll give more of practice worksheets. No. Worksheets are not going to help for their fine motor. You have to suggest these activities. Child, safe tweezers or tongs. That tweezers are nothing but tongs. Tongs I don't have an example to show, but then those are like clips. Now we also have tongs for use in the kitchen also nowadays. In the kitchen also we use tongs.
For making chapati.
Yeah. Holding the hot utensils, we use the tongs. You also have small clippers, if you have seen. Small clippers used for, many of them they use for the hair. Clippers. Yeah, so that also can be used to hold things. You know, that also gives them the grip of holding different objects. So there are different things. When you sit, now you have got a hang of it, what type of activities. Now you should start functioning with your brains. Whenever you are doing some work, what other activities you can incorporate. I have just given a very few activities, but there are lots. Day in and day out, if you think of activities, there are lots of activities which you can incorporate to enhance their fine motor development. Again, another is spread cards, coins or buttons on the floor and encourage children or students to turn them over. Now you have spread the coins or the buttons. Ask them to turn it over. Again turn it over, again put it, place it. What are you doing? Fine motor is developing. Again turn it, again place it inside. Again turn it, again place it inside. Provide a manual egg beater and a pan of water. Add dish soap for extra fun. Manual egg beater. You know no egg beater. You have an egg beater at home. Or in the class also, in the class you can give them a tray and tell them to beat an egg. You give them a water Give them water, have some color added to that water, ask them to beat it with the beater. What are you doing? Motor skills are developed. Hand motor skills are developed. Mix food coloring and water and use eye drops to decorate patent coffee filters. Same like you can add some coffee powder, you can just color it off. You can use that eye drops. Eye droppers are available. Have you seen? Ink droppers or eye droppers. Even that is a very beautiful activity to enhance their motor skills. Insert feathers or golf tees into the pay dough. You can insert feathers or you can insert some leaves or flowers on the dough. Dough is nothing but clay. Ask them to remove it, again place it, remove it, place it. Or with the dough also you can ask them to make the clay, make something, again ask them to collect the this clay and again reuse it again and again. Again what are they doing? Fine motor development enhancing. Play with finger puppets. Give them some finger puppets. I am going to have a different session on puppet making. So finger puppets can be made and you can ask them to use that finger puppets. So what are you doing? Enhancing their motor, fine motor. Sing chants and finger plays that encourage the use of fingers such as 5 little pumpkins, 5 green and speckled green frogs, 5 little monkeys. Again, ask them to use those chants or the nursery rhymes or the stories which has numbers. So 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. Okay, what are you doing? 5 little monkeys jumping on the bed. Use a fine motor. Now, provide small pieces of chalk or broken crayons for children to write or draw with. If you give them big and long crayons, it's difficult for them because they are more aware and they become more conscious about not breaking that chalk or not breaking that crayon. Mother will scold. What you have done? You broke the crayon. You made that into 2 or 3 pieces. Better give them a broken chalk or a broken crayon. Ask them to scribble it with it. Provide old greeting cards for students to cut. The thick paper provides the resistance they need to be more successful. Give them card papers. But be very careful. Your supervision is required for this activity. But here again fine motor is developing. Spread salt in a shallow pan and encourage students to use their fingers to draw. You can use salt trace or sand trace. Ask them to trace. That also is one of the activities. Place clear hair gel and food coloring in a sandwich bag. You can make your own, which you can use some colors, make it dry and that can be used and ask them to trace it on the bag. Force all the air out of the bag and seal tightly with package tape. This you can make your own bag. You can dry color in the bag, dry it and they can just trace the color inside. You can have this transparent bag, make the paint inside, let them dry, then seal it. Once it is dry, they can just reuse those by tracing those bags over and over again. Pencil grasp. How to hold pencil. The grasp of the pencil. Very important. The first skill we have come to. What are the different techniques we are going to use? The manner in which a child holds a pencil is called a pencil grasp. What is a pencil grasp? The manner or the way in which the child holds the pencil is called the pencil grasp. This grasp requires the thumb, the index finger and the middle fingers to work together, and it is also referred to as the pincer grasp. Another word for pencil grasp is pincer grasp. When using a tripod grasp, the child should move his fingers with the writing utensil and not use his entire arm. Now, what is a pencil grasp? Just everybody show me how you are going to hold the pencil. Which are the 3 fingers which you are using? Thumb, index finger and the middle finger. 3. You are using these 3. It is called as tripod. It's called as tripod grass. Why tri? You are using 3 fingers. It's called as tripod grass. So you are using these 3 fingers. That hold is very important. The way you are using this tripod grasp is very important. You need to know first, then teach. You need to practice this first. This proper practice required for this skill, very important. Then only you can teach that same grasp to your children. That same hold for your children, because there are children who will only use 2 fingers, index and thumb. They want to write. It's not a correct measure of writing or not correct way of writing. Now when they are writing also, you have a dominant hand. Dominant hand is, some are right-handed, some are left-handed. That is why when we gave you the writing assignment for writing, for making patterns or for writing alphabets, we said do 1 page of left hand, 1 page of right hand, because there are dominant hand children present. But one thing which you have to take care of, some children take time for their dominance to appear. If they are right, initially you might see the children using both their hands. Don't interrupt them. It will take some time for them to project their dominance. It's a very steady process. As and when time passes, their dominance will be reflected. So need not pressurize the child. This hand, use your right, use your left hand. Let that prominence be reflected. Then you will come to know whether the child is a left-handed or a right-handed. Many children will have already selected hand dominance by the age of 2 or 3 if they have been given ample opportunities for the fine motor development. Now the hand dominance is projected by 2 or 3 years of their age. But provided you have given ample of fine motor development activities to happen, then their dominance will appear. However, you may see a disproportionate amount of students who do not have hand dominance in preschools if you want high risk population. Some children take some time, as I said, because if they have not provided with proper activities for their fine motor development, it will take some time. Some of the children are slow in showing their dominance. If you have students in your classroom who have not yet selected hand dominance, it is crucial that you provide them with plenty of fine motor exercises in the classroom. If you have seen that a child in your classroom is using both their hands, give them some more fine motor activities so that their dominance is projected. You just cannot come to conclusion saying, no, that child has a dominance of both the hands. Dominant in right and left foot. No. Take some time. Give them some more exposure of the activities. Slowly and steadily it will show its dominance of the hands. When we refer to proper letter formation, we are referring to starting letter strokes at the top of the paper. When you are teaching them writing on the paper also, from the top to the bottom. All letters should start at the top and go down. Again and again this is repeated because this is the crust of writing. You need to remember, because we as adults also sometimes forget and we change our own style while writing. And that is why in the process what happens, we teach incorrectly to the small preschool children. The reason for this is because it is much easier, as I already discussed, it is easier from up to bottom. Encourage reluctant writers. There are children who are reluctant, who doesn't want to write. They refuse to write. Reluctance means they refuse to write. You have to create a lot of fusses for them to write. You have to really please them to write. You have to encourage them to write. How would you encourage them? When learning something new, young children often get frustrated. They get frustrated. Some of them want to escape writing. They are not fond of writing. Writing, teacher, no, not today. Tomorrow we will write. Teacher, I am tired. Teacher. Okay. So, they want to escape writing. They get frustrated of writing. task or only give minimal effort, if any, especially when feeling forced to practice the troubling task. For them it is a troubling task. Teacher has come to trouble now. When teacher starts telling them to write, teacher has troubled. At home they'll go and say, teacher troubled me so much today, writing, mummy, hands paining. My hands are paining today. Teacher gave a lot of writing. Then mama will say, oh my bacha, oh, I'll take care of your hands. They want to escape writing. They are frustrated. They don't want to learn anything new in the initial stage. Therefore, it is important when introducing preschoolers to writing, encourage and support them as much as possible. You provide them encouragement, very important. Encourage them, make them fully inspired to learn, make them prepared to learn. That is why we tell you all to have pre-writing activities conducted. Give some materials or manipulatives to develop that writing interest. Only then they will be prepared for real writing. Tricks and tips. Broken crayons. Using broken crayon stubs forces the correct tripod grasp. When you want to initially start writing and their pencil grasp, best is giving them broken crayons, because that will give a proper pencil grasp for the hold to them. Very important tip for writing purpose. Give them broken crayons in the initial stage. Very important. It's a tricky tip which can be provided. It's a tricky tip which can be provided. Broken crayons, because if you give them big crayons, they are very scared and afraid. That phobia is there in their mind. It should not break. That is why they change their style, because they are more scared of that crayon to be broken, rather than they are not concentrating on their writing. They are concentrating on the crayon. They are taking care of that crayon should not be broken. Now very letter formations I am not doing. I have just done the pencil grasp, because letter formation I have already completed in the writing assignment. So one skill which I have already taken care of. Pencil grasp, the grasp of the pencil, very important to be taken care. Letter formation I have already dealt with my written assignment which I gave you all for the letter writing. Now we go to the worksheets. What different worksheets which you can use for enhancing their writing skills. Worksheets also play a very important role for their, but what happens, why do we use worksheets? According to you, why worksheets should be given to children? Very good. Practice work. Why we need to practice?
Start writing.
Okay, within the lines, very good. But why we basically why? Because we write it. There also we are teaching, no? Very good, excellent. Repetition required. We are giving worksheets nothing but for repetition. Practice, very rightly said. Practice, repetition go hand in hand. We are practicing in the form of repetition. That is why worksheets play a very dominant role. Now at home, as teachers, you need to have some suggestions for writing, which you can provide it to the parents of the children. At home you can build up an atmosphere of words and words at home, which will encourage their writing skills. First they need to know it orally, then they will be encouraged for writing. Let children see how often you write. You are both a model and a teacher. You are a model as well as a teacher. At home also, the parent is like a model and a teacher. Just call sir 1 minute. Sir. My mic is actually getting out. Be helpful as you can in helping children to. The most effective role is not as a critic but as a helper. You cannot be a critic. Critic is you cannot criticize. Tips to encourage writing at home as well as at school. Now these are some of the tips which are combined tips which can be used at home as well as at the school. Now as I already discussed, be helpful as you have to help the child, not being a critic. You cannot criticize the child. You cannot say and criticize and humiliate the child saying what have you done. You have to be a motivator, a guide to the child. First thing which you have to remember is don't be a critic, be a helper. Child to improve and write, to practice. Provide a suitable place for children to write. Very important. Proper place to be provided. They cannot just sit wherever they want and write. They need to be provided a proper place so that they can use their proper way of writing. Give the child encourage to give the gifts associated with writing. Pens of several kinds. For them, provide gifts of different kinds for writing. You can provide them with different pens of different kinds. Pencils of appropriate size and hardness. A desk lamp, very important. You can provide them the lamp. Pads of paper, stationery, envelopes, even stamps. They'll be attracted to scribble on these things. A booklet for a diary or a daily journal. A dictionary appropriate to the child's age and needs. They can make their own dictionary booklets where they are using their new words. They are making their new words and they are writing their meanings. A thermochrost for older children. This will help in the search of the right word. Can I just change? Give them colorful crayons of different kinds. Even if you are giving them pencils, also give them fancy pencils. Different types with the tops. Different kinds of tops are also available. Because the more they get used to with the attractive material, the more they will be encouraged for writing. Can I go to the next slide, please? No? You need not copy in detail, only the gist of. Can we go to the next? Now encourage frequent writing. Don't demand writing. Don't tell them, no, you have to write 1 page every day. But daily writing is required, but not very frequent and not making it a duty for them to write. Okay? Very important, be patient and reluctance to write. I have nothing to say is a excuse. What they say, I have nothing to say now. You have to write. Don't have some statements given to the children. Recognize that his desire to write is something very good for them. They should have a desire to write. They should have that interest, that curiosity to write. Then praise the child's effort at writing. When the child is writing, praise them. Give them stars, give them good remarks when they are writing. Even if it is a shabby writing, not neat and clean, encourage the child. Give them good remarks, positive reinforcement, very important. Can I go to the next thing? Share letters with friends and relatives. They can share the new words with their friends. See, today what I have learned, this new word I have learned. Sharing with their friends and their relatives, their friends who come at home. Let them share it with their friends, their families at home. Encourage the child to write for information, free samples and travel brochures. You have those brochures at home, different brochures, the travel brochures or anything which they are very attractive with the pictures, give them that. Encourage them to read and copy that same thing. Be alert to occasions. Grocery list, which I have already told you before. You can incorporate them by asking them to write the thank you note, making birthday cards. What else can be given for them to write? Birthday cards, even writing letters to their mothers. When mother is angry, I'm sorry mama, I'm sorry mom, I'm sorry dad. Okay, short notes which they can write. Love you mom, love you cards, greeting cards, grocery list. Encourage them for writing. Ask to see the child's writing, either writing brought home or the writing kept in folders at school. Make folders. Preserve the writing of the children. Okay, whatever they write and bring from school at home or whatever they write in the school, have folders being maintained at school as well as at home. Preserve that. Then show them, previously you wrote like this. See now how neatly you have written. You can have some comparison made. Or if they have written very neatly before and now their handwriting is changing, it's becoming more shabby, ask them, what is the reason? See, this you wrote so beautifully, now what has happened to you? Comparison. Preserving their work. They'll be very happy to see their preserved work. Be affirmative about the child's effort in school writing. Be very affirmative. Yes. Tell them write. You can still write better. You can do still better. You can write more better. You can be excellent child in writing. Provide them with certificates. I told you the printout certificates of appreciations can be given for good handwriting children once a week. Every Friday you can announce the child who has good handwriting. So others will be motivated. It will be an reinforcement for the other children. Be primarily interested in the content, not the, I told you, not the, you should not be interested in the product, but in the process. Be patient. You cannot expect perfection in the beginning. You need to wait and observe. Be patient enough. Find out the children are given writing instructions and practice in writing on a regular basis. Whenever you are giving them to write something, give them instructions. Now you need to draw. You need to write. Instructions should be properly conveyed to the children. Ask if every teacher is involved in helping youngsters write better. Now providing them with worksheets, different kinds of worksheets. Okay, I'll just show you, there are lots of worksheet examples which I'm going to show you ahead. How you can incorporate writing, practice, as I told you, practice and repetitions in the form of worksheets. See if you are, this is the repetition. Watch out for the grammar trap. Don't go too much into the grammar and the grammatical or the spelling or the punctuations of the children. Right now, the emphasis only is for writing. And writing, what are the two skills you are going to take care of? One is the pencil grasp and the second is the letter formation. Now PTA in the school, that is PTA is nothing but the parent teacher association or the PTM which you have at school. You can have some suggestions being provided to the parents. You can, because I said education is a triangular process where what are the three people working together? Who are the three of them? The child, the teacher and the parent. What are the activities for the preschoolers? There is a sign-in book. Now what is this sign-in book? Now please make a note of these activities. The activities for preschoolers for writing, very important, please make a note of it. You can use these activities in your school. Sign in book. Now children find their names and write within the appropriate boxes. You can make boxes. You can make a sign in box. If you have seen this child reading a book in which the boxes have been made there. If they need help, I guide them through it, take them through it, or write their names in yellow so they can trace. You have the boxes made in the book. In that boxes, you write their names. Then write their names in the marker pen. And you ask them to trace it on that yellow marker pen. That's a sign-in book. They are signing in their name over and over again. That's called as the sign-in book. As every activity should have a name, you can name this activity as sign-in book. No, it's an example being given because if you see highlighters, orange highlighter or yellow, they are very attracted towards it. It's only an example. You can use your own color. Any fluorescent color which you can use as a marker. Now rainbow writing names. On a large piece of white paper, write the child's name. Take a big chart paper, write the child's name on it. The student chooses different colors to trace over or around the letters in her names. Have you seen these? The names written, Maria here, and you can use different shades of colors coloring the name. This is called as rainbow writing names. You can write the name of the child on a white paper in the center and use the different rainbow colors to color that paper. And you can display it on the board. This is a naming activity which you can have it in the classroom. You can also use paints, the water paints for this. The paint colors. You can use crayons. Mosaic names. Mosaic names you have, there is a different mosaic material which is available in the market. So mosaic names, you can have small cutouts being made, the square ones. Write the child's name on a large piece of white paper. He then glues scraps of different colored papers to his name. He writes on a big paper, takes a big paper, white paper, he writes his name. You have the mosaic cutouts available, small square shape or the circular shape. Ask that child to place it on the name. Glue it on the name. Paste it on the name. That's the mosaic work of his name. They are very interested to do these activities. And again over here, in the process, you are again enhancing their which development? Fine motor development. All these activities are going to take care of different skill enhancements also. Can I go to the next activity, please? Now, tactile names. Again, write the child's name on a large piece of paper. The student then traces each letter with the white glue and adds a tactile material over the glue. Any tactile material you can use. They can use that those craft sheets which are available. Those marble papers or the craft sheets, colorful ones are there, no? Any cutouts can be given to them. Ask them to place it. See, you cannot ask them to cut those pieces. You have to provide them with those pieces. Ask them only to stick it on that name of theirs. Now, possible materials to use are sand. You can use sand. Ask them to use the sand. Apply. Come over here. Ask them to place the sand on that name. Or you can use glitter. You can use beads. You can use buttons. You can use some cereals also. Some dals. You can use pista shells also for the same. You can use different sequences also for the same. Different materials you can use. Teachers, you can use your own variety of materials. Make it more creative, more innovative, full of novelty. Once the glue has dried, the kiddos can trace their fingers, creating a sensory experience. They can use their sensory experience. Once they have glued everything, it has dried up. Now the name written here is Lily. The child's name is Lily. After the glue has been stuck, it has been dried, whatever material has been dried, you can ask the child to trace their name on that. After everything is done, my name is Lily. So what is the spelling of my name? Lily. Lily. You are enhancing their sensory skills at the same time. So again, repetition is taking place. These activities are not only fun and frolic activities, but also having educational value, where you are enhancing their fine motor as well as their sensory skills. We go to the next activity. Dot paint names. Children use dot paints to carefully paint over each letter in their names. There are dots. You know, there are two tube colors which are available, as you have the sparkles in the form of tubes. Okay, so they can have the drops being placed on the paper. They can put the drop. You trace their names on the paper. They'll use those tubes drop in the form of drops or dots. They put dots. Your supervision is required. They'll not be able to do it accurately. Do you expect perfection in this activity? The process is important or the product? Process. Name roads. Now this can be related to the roadside. Use the great letter roads to create your child's name. Okay, it's like a form of the road. It's on the black sandpaper. You can have a sandpaper being used for their names and have these lines provided over there, which will give them a roadside view. You can also have some zebra lines also. Instead of these road lines, you can use zebra lines. You can modify your own activities. This is only an idea to implement, but you can incorporate your own ideas in these implemented activities. Then again trace. Again tracing takes place for their names. The Play-Doh names. Create Play-Doh name mats for each of the students. It's as easy as writing their name, laminating them. They can use the Play-Doh to trace over each letter in their names. Have you seen? They have used their clay. They are forming their own letters with the help of clay. And again they are reusing that clay. That clay dough can be reused over and over again. Again, tactile activities. These all are kinesthetic and tactile activities, teachers. Very important to be used. We go to the next one. Again, tactile trays you can use. Place a layer of tactile materials in the tray and let the kiddos. What is the meaning of kiddos? Kids, children. Practice writing names. Now you can have big trays of sand, or you can have the trays of salt, and they can keep tracing their letters of their names on that. So tracing. These are all tactile activities, enhancing their fine motor developments. Very important. Here there is no fear of making mistakes, no fear of erasing things. They can keep reusing these material over and over again and rectify there itself. We go to the next, letter sorts. Now here, make a simple chart entitled letters in my name with a yes column and a no column. Okay, you can have a chart being made with letters yes or no. I'll just show you how this can be made. You can have two columns. You can put the name of the child over here. Okay, and here you can make two columns. Yes, no. You can have A, B, C, D letters here and few letters over here. Okay, suppose okay, few letters here, few letters here. Now letter P is there here? Yes? Not there. It's there over here. P is here. So we just tick over here. O is there? O. Or you can have the letters which are there over here. Now A is there. So you can just have here circled and write A. There are different ways of yes and no which you can use. And they are magnetic letters. You know those alphabets available in magnetic letters which are available. So they just pick P. They have the magnetic letters there. So they'll hold P. P is here. So yes, P is here. So they'll just place that magnetic P over here. Here, some letters which they pick a hold and place it. Names in your theme. Create your own name activity based upon your weekly or monthly themes. For example, if you were studying space, you can make name rockets. Now suppose if you are studying about, you are teaching them about animals. Now this is space we are teaching about, suppose space. We are teaching them about rockets, aircrafts. So when you are teaching them about space, you have a theme in that week which says about space. You can have rockets made, such rockets made with their names. With each letter incorporated in that rocket. If you are teaching about animals, you can have animals, you can have a caterpillar made. Okay, with their names. So it can be theme based also. It can be topic based. It can be the concept which you are teaching. It can be related to that concept for writing their names. Very important. And very interesting also. When you are teaching them about animals also. When you are teaching them about domestic animals, wild animals, you can use domestic animals, cat. You can draw cats incorporated with their names. Now if you are teaching them about the same thing, you can teach, if suppose snow is going on, this is not related to our concept, but abroad if there is a snow time, snowing going on, so that can be related or connected to the winter season where they can make snowmans. With their names on the snowman. Having different circle cutouts, having a snowman cutout with their letters of their names incorporated into the activity. Can we go to the next slide, please? The examples which I am giving, you can have your own creativity, your own innovativeness, your own novelty incorporated in it, as I previously said. Now, predictable charts. You can make a predictable chart about anything you are teaching. They can relate to your weekly or monthly, the same thing. You can make charts out of their names. If you are teaching anything related to the theme or the concept which you are teaching. Now, the students' interest in books you read to the class. You can make them as simple as complex as your students need. The sentence all follow the same pattern. Mama likes cats. Engineer likes dogs. You can make your own sentence formation also. Any concept which you are teaching related to it, again display it in the form of charts. This is all thematic planning again. My activity is based on thematic planning. Now, invisible watercolor names. Again, this is fun with watercolors. They are writing their names and smudging it with their colors, watercolors. They write their names in the center. They smudge it with the watercolor or the paint. Or you can give them a paper where they can just put the paint on it or the color in it, let it dry, then ask them to take the pencil and write the name on it. That's also a tracing activity. That's a painting tracing activity. Sorry? From crayons, very good. From crayons also you can use. You can use different materials. The concept remains the same, but material varies. You can use crayons, very good, as she said. Just scribble the crayons and then just write the names on it. It will be very distinctly seen. That's again a tracing activity. The class name book. This is something easy to make with the students at the beginning of the year. When the year begins, you can make these activity. Take pictures of each child to include in the book. You have the picture of each child in that book. It's called as the class name book. Make sure the sentences are the same on each page. You have the same class name book. Sentence is the same. My name is, all the students which you have in your classroom. You can have a book maintained with their name. They have their picture, they have their photograph of the picture and followed by the same. My name is whatever. The book can be maintained where the child writes their name. Sentence is the same, but each child is allowed to write their sentence just below their photograph or their name. Now class alphabet book. Over here we have a letter on the top of each page including each letter of the alphabet. Underneath each letter write the name of that includes that letter. Now you have the alphabet book maintained in the class. Whichever child begins with A, letter A, all the names come under that A. B, all the names comes under that B. That's the class alphabet book which is maintained. Now again the name chart over here, same. You can have a chart maintained with different names of the children. They can make their own names in the form of different things. You can give them small cutouts. Let them write their names, let them color their names, display it on the board. Display it on a chart. Name bingo. Now create bingo cards with children's picture on them. Use the children's name as bingo cards. Show the name. Show the picture. You have the picture cards. We are having the photographs of different children and the names of different children. So one child comes, picks up the photograph of the child, the picture of the child. The other one comes and that child comes and picks up his name of that child. So it's a name bingo. Now these are the different worksheets. Now the theory part I have already completed with. Now we go in for the worksheets to be made for the writing activities. You can have these worksheets made in the form of writing number ones with the dots. That day when I gave you all the writing assignment also, the written assignment said that the dotted one would be the first, followed by the writing. You have to provide the dots initially. So here also you are showing pictorially what is 1, what is 2, 3, 4, 5 dots in the form of numbers. When you are teaching them, the letter O. Again dotted, provided with the lines provided. Very important to provide them the lines. Follow the lines. Very important. And when they are writing, what needs to be remembered? What is the sequence from? Never forget that. You are giving them an example of the lid of the jar. You are showing them a pictorial jar where the lid is in the form of a O. All pictorically you can represent your worksheets. Now here also 2 down. So this also is practically or symbolic teaching. Presenting your numbers with the pictures as well as the dotted form, then providing lines for them to first trace it on the dots and then rewrite it down on the lines provided. Now again for patterns, again you are providing them with dots first. One worksheet only for practice with the dots. Initially you have to provide these worksheets to refine their writing. They need to learn patterns before they come for the letter formation. Again here patterns, giving them worksheets for patterns where you are providing them with the dots. Ask them to trace it, write it on the, they are writing those patterns with the dots provided. Again the letters, again with the dots. Here you are showing the variation big, the small, little bit bigger, 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 biggest. Here again you are showing them the dual concept. Again they are again writing A. See how many times they are repeating? Times, once, twice, thrice, 4 and 5. One worksheet with again and over repetition, but with the dots, because first you need them to give some guidelines to practice. So give them as many worksheets as you can with dotted help, with dotted guidance, and then ask them with the 2 ones, that is one the dotted and the other they have to write on their own. Which size? It's only a technique so that they are not attracted. If you give the same variation, they will not be attracted to write. Only that is why we are just asking them to write it a little bit small. So they will also ask them, okay teacher, this is big A. Why this is so small? For you to keep writing. Because if you give up the same standard, they will feel bored to write. It will be very monotonous for them to write. So if you give it different variations, your purpose is solved. What is your main purpose? Repetition and practice. Here you are giving them a pictorial representation of A. A is for aeroplane. Giving the letter A up, how it is written. You are providing the dot down. You are asking them to write it, rewrite it again down with the line provided. They are the lines which are provided. Very important, you have to tell them to follow the lines. But again over here, process important, product not very important in the initial stage. It should not be for the lifetime. Process important, product not important. Then you can imagine what your student is going to be. So this is only for the initial stage. I need to specify that. Process important, product not important in the initial stage. Refinement steadily important. Again over here, different styles you can use for your worksheets. These different styles I have given you all so that you can incorporate some little bit of variety in your worksheet. If you gave same standard worksheets, they will not be interested in writing. They get frustrated for writing. They want to escape writing. But if you will provide novelty in your worksheets, they will be interested in writing. So again letter A, here again the capital as well as the small. So in one worksheet, you are solving two practices. One is the capital, one is the small. Again over here, the big and the small together with the pictorial representation of that letter. Same here, 1, 2, 3 in the same worksheet. Again over here, B, capital as well as small. Here again the pattern. Now here the stroke which is given over here deals to that end product, A. For this A, you need to have this particular pattern to be known, and this is for the small a. So giving the pattern related to the letter formation which needs to be given. Here again, there is a different stroke in the form of rainbow which you can show. Again here, O representation. Here again different patterns which are shown, different strokes which are shown. Again the dotted here. Now you see, very important, the dots are also has to be done with a particular angle. We are teaching them curves also, no, different curves. The right side curves, the left side curves. Accordingly they need to know this. This worksheet is a little bit different worksheet. Here also the letter K with different things represented down with the pictures. Here also they have to circle what the picture has been shown about. What is the first picture about? It can be rain. Rain, is it rain? Or is it petals? Will raindrops be such big ones? It can be shown in the form of, because they are small. So when you want to represent rain, you can show them in the small droplets like this. Is the rain? Petals. So P needs to be circled. What is the second one? Cloud. So C needs to be circled. Now the letter K. Again the different strokes related to the letter formation of K. Here again the beginning letter missing. What is the first picture? What is missing in the word pig? P. Now this cannot be in the initial stage. Once you have taught them the letters, I tell you always that it's not the initial stage which I am teaching. I give you all examples of the later stage too. So once the refinement of the letter formation is done, you can have these worksheets incorporated in your teaching process. Now when you are teaching and, okay, now you have A and D and. Let them write that word first on the dotted lines. Then again let them repeat here. Then you can give some sentence formation where they incorporate this word. So, I like milk and cookies. You are giving them boxes provided, boxes provided. By that, the dotted ones, they have learned how to repeat it. Now they are using it. Then over here you can form in the form of the dashes provided. I like milk, and that and word has 3 letters and 3 dashes over here. So 1, 2 and 3. So A and D and cookies. Then write the same sentence over here. I like milk and cookies. Slowly, steadily you are enhancing their sentence formation from letter formation, word formation, sentence formation. It's a gradual process. Letter formation, word formation, sentence formation. Again here, capital as well as small. Here, color the object that starts with the letter P. You give them the letter P and ask them to color the picture which reflects for letter P. Again here, They are writing those words which are written over there, given with the pictures. So they keep writing. So if dog is written, they repeat that same word twice. You can form lines over there. Otherwise they'll go off track. Here again capital as well as small with the words representing the particular letter. Here again you can have these activities in the form of worksheets also, where the worksheets they keep writing the words 4 to 5 times. They can use those mosaic cutouts, place it on it accordingly, or the letters which they have, those alphabets they can use the magnetic ones and place it on it. Again here the worksheet. What is the first letter missing in this word? It can be cat, it can be hat, it can be bat, it can be mat. So you can tell them. The missing letters can be so many. Rhyming words is coming here. So you can teach a dual. That is why I said one activity, multiple purpose. Again here capital as well as small. Here again the letter with the words, but again the first word missing, the first letter missing of the word which is already there on the worksheet. Here again teaching them different strokes pictorically. Again over here sand tracing, salt tracing. Here you can have the alphabets, you can use different objects or material to place it on that particular letters. You can use those pista shells, you can use sequins, you can use buttons, you can use cotton balls, anything. Now I end my writing skills over here. So my English portion has come to an end. I want you all to go through your textbooks because I'll not be going through the text. Another 5 minutes to go, please. excuse me teachers, don't give me the details of the activities to be conducted. Only just what activity you're going to conduct. That's the only thing. Only the title of the activity. How you are going to conduct, it's okay. We'll understand. You can just give me a one-line explanation for that. Yeah. Yeah.
First day we are introducing the season.
Yeah.
The second day, 25th is the festival, Christmas, and weather reference to it. And third day,
Clothes.
warm clothing, they have to come and the warm clothing.
Yeah.
And next day, food, warm food and
Absolutely.
hot water, everything. And the last day is year end, so welcoming new year and the seasonal food.
Excellent. Excellent. You're on the right track. One theme you have to take up. You have taken up theme. That only theme. That's thematic.
So we can put some pictures, see some pictures.
It's called as theme. It's theme, so it's called as thematic. Thematic week. Yeah, can we wind up, please? Yeah. So I now, as you all are ready, I want each group to come out. First, introduce your names, and then give me the thematic topic for the week, and then give me the breakup of the day wise which activity you are going to conduct relating to your theme. Group 1, kindly come out. Group 1, kindly come out. Excuse me, before we begin, I kindly please other group members, I want you all to respect group, the group which is presenting. Kindly have your attention here.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deshal, and our theme is the Christmas theme. Each day we are going to take different topics. And the first day, Monday, will be introduction, that why we are celebrating Christmas. Just the teacher will give a gist of it, and the Christmas tree will be in the room, in the classroom. Like teacher can show how to decorate it, and the teacher can explain that what all we do in Christmas, like party time and snacks time. We'll get good things to eat and all that. Just the overall gist of it. The next day will be Tuesday.
Hello, my name is Tamarai. The next day is intervention party. That day, teacher asked bring a special Christmas cake and ask other children to bring different items and paper napkins and plates. Something.
Hello, my name is Srividya. Now I'm going to talk about the safety with electricity, because it's Christmas. They would want to decorate their houses with lamps and all. The children have to be careful. So Wednesday I would guide the children how to keep themselves safe from electrical points.
Hi, this is Momita. So next day is Thursday. Thursday we will plan for the theme Christmas sharing, caring and love. We can ask them to make some greetings card to give them to the other friends, and can ask them to bring some small gifts like chocolates, balloons, and to share with them, and we'll tell them about the importance of that Santa Claus gives why Santa Claus provides the gifts to children and the importance for it.
Hi students. Today I am Vaidehi here, and today I am going to tell you about how to wind up after the Christmas celebration is over. So in that I have to tell them how to wind up carefully. The pins and all, they should throw in dustbin and all properly so that nobody should get hurt. And while winding up, safety measures we have to take care of. Thank you.
Very good. Group 2.
Okay. Hi student, I am Nistha. We are conducting a Christmas. Okay, and first day is Monday. We are telling about Christmas, how to celebrate Christmas and why we are celebrating Christmas. And it's a circle time. We are making a circle time and explain to child how to expand all 5 days in a circle in a Christmas. Okay.
I am Pravina. Next day, Tuesday, we are going to teach some rhymes related to Christmas, like Jingle Bell. Thank you.
Hi, this is Shazia. On Wednesday, we'll ask them to color the cards for Christmas. As well, they can make art and craft things like snowman and all with cotton birds. And whatever creative things they can make for Christmas, they will make it. So that activity will be conducted on Wednesday.
Hello, this is Mashmi. On Thursday, we are going to do one game. It's like a whispering game where child will come to teacher and whatever he wants to wish from Santa, he will whisper in teacher's ear.
Hello, I am Deshma. Friday is the party day. Friday we will celebrate the Christmas. We can call the parents also. Parents also come for the Christmas party, and we will cut the cake, and the Santa Claus will come and give the gifts to the kids also. That is the 5 days we celebrate. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I am Preeti. We are taking a topic of a season, and we are going to introduce season of December. What should we do in this season, and how to? There is a one festival of Christmas, and how to celebrate it, and what should we do, and all everything we are taking in this.
Good afternoon, I'm Bindu. As we have taken the topic season, this season which festival is coming, that we are going to introduce the second day. So as Christmas is falling now, so Christmas day we are asking them to come in the dressed up in a red color. There will be a Christmas tree in the classroom, and we'll ask the children to bring some decorative item for the tree, and together we'll do the decoration. There's one child in dress code of Santa Claus or something, and ask them to distribute some gifts, so that way we can introduce Christmas.
Hi, I'm Pravina here. As December is a very cold season, we teach the children how to dress it themselves. We tell them what kind of dresses we have to wear. We ask them to wear sweaters, woolen clothes, socks, gloves, etc.
And take warm food, warm water, and ending of year, welcome to New Year. New Year.
Hello, I'm Shukla Patra. Actually today's topic is shopping for coming festival Christmas.
Yeah.
So first day 22nd December, Monday.
Yeah, first day is Monday, 22nd December. So first we make first a list for gifts like color lights, toys, Christmas trees, cap, chocolates, plum cake, bells, Santa Claus.
This is Vinita. Then next day after Monday, we are taking the child to the shops by car or by bus, because the children will be very excited by traveling through the car or anything. We directly take the children to the shop and we ask them to purchase those items she listed, that things and all.
Celebration will be on third day. For the tomorrow celebration, we will make some decoration for class. We'll introduce some activities, and for the coming day, some rhymes preparation will be there because of today's stage performance will be there on tomorrow's celebration. So in activities we include cotton making activity, and where we will actually decorate the world by Santa Claus and environment like city area, where we actually add some cotton to decorate Santa by his hat, beard, mustache and dress, and other snow area we can decorate by cotton. And rhymes activity we can introduce like that way: Christmas, Christmas, we are here to celebrate with lots of gifts, and by making a cake.
And on 25th December, it's on Thursday, we are going to celebrate the Christmas by inviting Santa and giving them gifts for the children to.
We'll arrange a fancy dress competition. Before that day, we'll note down on diary to send the child in different colorful dress, and we will specify the color like red, green and white. And we'll arrange a fancy dress for the students and rhymes competition as a stage show. And
Then last is displaying the gifts. On Christmas celebration, we whatever we went and purchased in the shop, no, we will give to the childrens, and we will display. They will come to know about this is the gift for what, and what is this. They come to know. Yeah, explaining the gifts.
So teachers, it was an excellent attempt. So if you have seen it, so easy, because it is, what is the meaning of thematic is nothing but theme based. That is why it is called as thematic. So it's theme based. So you first plan out for themes. Some of the schools have weekly plans for themes, or some of the schools have monthly. So it's sometimes theme based, monthly thematic planning is done. Some schools have weekly thematic plannings done. So when you have the thematic plans, as very rightly you all have chalked out your activities accordingly. Some of the one group had a field visit where you take the children to the shop to purchase things related to that theme. That was a very nice thing. There are many other activities, and whatever activities were chalked out by all, now actually have you all got a clear idea? Because when I explain, it sounds very easy, but when you all sit and plan things, it becomes different. So when you all have planned on your own, was it difficult? It's easy. So now this was only a practice session. In this way, you can chalk out some themes at home, so that when you join a school, you need not sit back and think about the activities or the themes. You can have your own suggestions given to your authorities, to your coordinators, to your HODs, coming up with some unique and different ideas, creative ideas. So very well planned. Now, whatever activities you all have planned, I want you all to keep a record of it, because we'll be extending this activity in my next session. So this is not the end of the activity. We still need to have an extended activity. There are 2 activities pending for this particular topic. So kindly keep a record of whatever you all have planned. Remember the groups which you all had formed, because I will not be bifurcating on separating you all. So remember your group members of each group, which group you belong, and the members of the group. One of you all can make a note of it. And we end this session here for today's session. As I have already stated, my English portion is already over. Math, I'll be doing next time, I'll be doing math, I'll be doing problem solving for preschoolers with my extended activity in this. Now regarding the assignment, any problem with the written assignment which I had given for the writing purpose, please don't forget to continue writing. I don't want you to sit at the last minute and complete the assignment. Make it a point to at least do it regularly, at least one line or at least one page you can do it regularly, as we keep telling our children. So I'm just giving you all a reminder that don't forget about the written assignment of the alphabet book. Anything, anywhere you have stuck upon, you can anytime contact. And we end the session, today's session here. Thank you. Kindly don't leave. I think there are some announcement which Sadaf ma'am is going to make. So please wait for the further instructions.